Hey, Sam from the Movement Studio here and the Spinal Recovery Program. I'm on holiday at the moment in Sardinia. My girlfriend's teaching a yoga class online, so I thought I'd come out and make this video for you. Sardinia is actually a place where people live over 100 consistently, really healthy, long lives. I think it's due to the food, due to the social relationships they maintain, all these different things that just combine to make this recipe to help people live really long, healthy lives. It's a pretty amazing little island. So let's get into this. Patients ask me all the time, does physiotherapy work? So if we want to understand the answer to that question, the first thing we need to do is understand a couple of things first. What we need to know is that viewing professions like physiotherapists, chiropractors, osteopaths as treatments is a bit of a mistake, and it can affect your recovery. Physiotherapists and chiropractors and osteopaths, they're all well-trained professions that can specialize in helping people with pain. But they are not treatments, they're professions. And healthcare professionals from all these professions can be trained in specialist rehabilitation for patients with back problems, and they can be trained to use all kinds of other treatments as well. So when my patients ask, does a physio work? I think the real thing they're really after is, does exercise work? Because that's the treatment, that's the intervention that is most commonly associated with physiotherapy. So let's answer this. Something I hear from my patients all the time at work is that they've tried exercises, and they say, they don't work. I've tried them, I've given them a real go. And these people have, but they're still really suffering with back pain. And by the time they get in touch with me, they're often feeling unheard and unacknowledged. And they're just really frustrated because they're unable to stand for more than a few minutes. And, they're scared that their pain's going to last forever, and they're confused about why it's lasted so long. It's probably a familiar feeling. And the twist is that these people are 100% right. The cookie cutter exercise sheets with a handful of loosely organized appointments that they've usually been given to help them with their problem really are a thing of the past. And people aren't stupid. They know this approach is pretty unhelpful. And they're often pretty unsatisfied when they ask a highly qualified healthcare professional for help with their long-term, life-changing back pain. And that's what happens. They just get an exercise sheet and a few loosely organised appointments that don't really tie together and make sense. So here's the thing. Why is this approach still widely used then? In modern, new age healthcare, this should really be a thing of the past. Well, it's cheap. It's really easy to apply and give to someone in a large system, a large healthcare system. It takes minimal time to deliver. And from a traditional standpoint, that's just the way things have always been done. It's been done like that for a long time. So people simply don't question it. But from my own experience of having long-term rib pain and back pain, and from working with people and listening to them who suffer with it as well, wanting less pain and more movement and being able to move and bend and do that without being fearful that your back's going to give out, it's really not that much to ask. So it's hard to denounce anyone who's struggling and wants more from their recovery than just a non-personalized exercise sheet and a few loosely organised appointments. So here's the thing. We found that in modern, new age back pain recovery, things have to be completely different. What we found is that when we customise exercises and our approach, and a person learns why and how to move with a clear set of personalised principles that maximise their recovery and minimise their flare-ups, then it's a completely different outcome. And this can be difficult to do in a huge amount of traditional clinical environments because of that time factor. But regardless of that, really connecting and listening to someone is a key essential ingredient in the recipe for their recovery. And we've found really that's the first thing that needs to happen. We've got to listen and connect to people if we're going to start the journey of recovery both on the same page and with a clear set of expectations and a good plan of recovery. And what's more, when it comes to exercise, there's literally thousands of ways you can do it. Back pain is unique and it's individual to every person who has it, and so should be the recovery. And this includes specific spinal movement rehabilitation right through to basic exercise advice. And we've found that in our programs, when spinal rehab and all the extras that go with it, like stress management and mindfulness and sleep quality education, when all those things really mean something to the person doing it, the results are so much better. And you know, movement at all ends of the spectrum needs to play a huge role in recovery, because fundamentally that's what our body needs to do. That it needs to move. We need to reach a point where we can trust our bodies to move well again. So when our patients can apply it with the right knowledge and underpinning principles, and in a way that focuses on the specific needs of the individual person, the results it gives us exceed the approaches that we were talking about before, hands down. So back to that question, does physiotherapy work in back pain and in spinal rehabilitation? Well, if you're delivering it to patients in a systematic and empowering way, like we just talked about, yeah, definitely. And based on my own experiences of chronic pain, from listening to the people that we work with, and from having around 10 years of studying back pain rehabilitation, I struggle to think of any single situation where rehab of this type, rehab of this nature, is not helpful to back pain sufferers. You know, our spines are designed to move, and very often it's that combination of pain and loss of movement that causes us so much suffering. And so it makes sense to utilize movement as an absolute essential ingredient for recovery. So I hope that was useful. I'm gonna go and find a place to have some breakfast now. Wait for my girlfriend to finish teaching that class. And for the moment, that's all I've got for you. So I'll see you again soon.
Wait, don't go just yet. If you found that content useful, then join our brand new Facebook group, Low Back Pain Recovery, and feel free to add me personally on Facebook as well. Again, my name's Samuel Clark, and in the picture, I'll be wearing this t-shirt. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, the Movement Studio programs. That's all for me. Again, my name's Samuel Clark from the Movement Studio and the Spinal Recovery Program, and enjoy the rest of your day.